Hello, faithful people. I'm Maureen.
I'm Gary.
And today is going to be a very different video from our usual videos. We debated on even doing it, but we decided it was too important an event to forget. And this is kind of a 6-month update on things. Let's go down that road. On November 8th, 2018, at approximately 6:30 a.m., a wildfire started on Camp Creek Road in Butte County, burning Concow, California, and embers quickly spreading to Paradise, California.
My cousin and her family live in the area, and we're fortunate, by the grace of God, to escape the fires. Their families, their buildings, all in good shape.
They took us through Paradise recently, and before we show you the devastation from the fire and the remarkable survival of some of the buildings and some of the businesses and things, we're going to give you a few quick facts. In 2013, it was predicted that there was going to be danger of a catastrophic fire in that area.
Paradise was founded in 1877, and the current population prior to the fire was 27,000 people.
88 people died in the fire or as a result of the fire.
1,065 firefighters and personnel, 74 fire trucks, 2 helicopters fought the fire. Only 3 firefighters were injured throughout the event.
Which is amazing. 153,336 acres of land was burned.
13,696 homes were destroyed. 462 were damaged. 276 multiple residences were burned.
Like apartments and duplexes, things like that.
And 25 more were damaged. 528 commercial buildings were destroyed, and 102 were damaged.
Out of about 24 churches, 10 of them burned, and several of them were damaged. Other communities that were affected by the Camp Fire were Concow, as I've already mentioned, and they were also burned out in 2008. Magalia and Pulga.
Some of the conditions that led to the burning of Butte County:
a wet spring that created a lot of grass.
An unusually dry fall, which meant that the grass now was fuel for fire.
Decreased humidity due to high winds.
And unusually dry conditions.
Lots of trees, vegetation, and buildings.
And a hot, dry, gusty wind throughout the day of the fire.
Gary's cousin showed us pictures the day of the fire from their place, and the sky was the blackest I've ever seen, if any storm or any fire. And she also showed us pictures of headlights coming towards them. It was a 2-lane highway, and they had both lanes going out and nothing able to go in to Paradise.
Students of Paradise schools have been moved to other school systems in the area, and they still have hopes of being able to reopen this coming fall.
The hospital is not open, and they're not even sure if it's going to reopen. It employed 1,000 people, 1,000 professionals and staff.
Pastors of burned churches are having a hard time being shepherds to their flocks that are scattered throughout the state and other communities and beyond the state of California.
Some businesses survived the fire. The ones that did, unfortunately, now the population isn't what it was, and so there's not a lot of business to support them.
People cannot move back into their homes until they've been certified safe, and trees have been removed that are in danger of falling now because they're dead and the strong winds will knock them over, or the roots will just give out. And their water supply in their homes has been affected by the fires too.
So now we're going to take you for a drive through Paradise, California, 6 months after the fire. And keep watching to the end because we have some good news to share with you too. And yet this is untouched, right next to everything else that burned. Got touched. Wow. Not even the roof? I mean, did they have to like replace the roof or anything? Gosh. And then this place burned.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But he's hospital. Yeah. The goes back, and they're gonna have to take down all these dead scorched trees.
The other place we should go is to Greg and Nicole's house, because then they can see one of those murals that the guy painted.
Yeah, yeah. Down that valley, just gone.
You said about well, basically 80% of the town burned.
I think that's
Okay. Oh my gosh.
14,000 homes, and I think was elderly. And so
Here's a cleaned lot. This lot has been cleaned.
Okay.
Private.
And now this one wasn't touched.
Yeah.
And right next to it, the
Yeah.
house burns.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So the house in the middle
Yeah.
did not burn. And there's cars down there that are burned.
Yeah.
Houses down there.
Which way that you
And this one wasn't burned.
you don't know which way the wind blows.
Oh,
That's
golly.
blowing embers that would land on roofs.
Sure.
yeah. A little bit, but they're just redoing the roof,
Okay.
and it survived.
Wondered about all the churches, because they don't.
But look at the devastation.
Oh my
Look at that.
goodness gracious.
Yeah.
This is
And
where it first
this
hit.
this pattern is repeated all the way across, because I've been looking at lots and trees, lots of heavy equipment. That's a good reason for me to stay
So that hill
away.
over there used to have trees. Where you
Oh,
see
yeah.
the red.
Where the red is, that used to be totally
Forested.
forested.
Mm.
About 2 houses left. There's another one.
Yeah.
And look at all the logs. You want some logs?
Oh my
Bring a
goodness.
truck.
They
And
evacuated all the patients.
oh my gosh.
One of our friends, his daughter was having a C-section, and she was still numb,
Oh.
and they evacuated her.
So the hospital is closed. I take it with all the fences here.
Yeah.
Parts are okay, but parts aren't, and so they're not even sure if they will reopen.
Oh, so there must have been, was the RV spaces because of people living in them full time, or were they people that...
They were mobile homes, you know, like
Mobile home
double
parks.
wides.
Okay, because it said RV, so I didn't know, and that's like the third one I've seen.
Sometimes they would have a few spots for people that
Okay.
would come through.
Oh. That's Missouri Synod.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh. Completely gone.
Yeah.
So this was the church.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so hard to see that go. It's hard to see your home go, and it's hard, but a church that you are a member of, that you would going there, and you have church family, and
And now everybody's dispersed.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here. This is a mobile home park.
Another one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mobile home parks here.
Because it's affordable housing,
Sure.
you know, and it's and so a lot of these people, you know, senior citizens, and ideal climate.
Yeah.
The homeowners are responsible for the debris removal.
Yep.
How in the world do they do that?
Yeah. And it remains to be seen what will happen, because there are going to be some people
the
that
melted
do not.
tires.
Yeah.
And I was talking to the homeowner, because the trees right in back of his house, you'll see him in a few minutes. I think 5 of the 7 trees are going to die, and they're big redwoods, big gigantium redwoods, not coastal redwoods. They're the other species.
And so now people can move on their property, or were those...
If your property did not burn.
Oh, okay.
Or if it's been cleaned and certified.
Cleared.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, these are redwoods. Right, there are some redwoods planted in there. But these houses, and then this one makes it. That one's gone. The next one is there.
Mural over here.
Ah, yeah.
There's an artist that's been going around and just painting murals on, just to kind of bring some art into. He gets the people's permission, you know, into the property.
Painting on chimneys. Tree trucks and chippers parked on every corner.
So there's only a limited amount of time, and then the ones that are dead will be knocked over by wind or something. Is that?
Yeah, they'll start falling.
And then that house
The oldest
survives.
church in town was right here, and it burned to the ground.
I know that was probably very disturbing to see all of that. It was amazing to see how many houses survived in the middle of being surrounded by ones that didn't. It was just incredible. The good news that we want to share with you on several things, and some of the lessons that have been learned from it, is that, first of all, after over a 7-year drought in California, as of March of this year, 2019, the drought has been officially over.
All 67 patients in the hospital were safely evacuated, as well as all the residences of the nursing homes in the area.
Because of the time of the day, children were not in school yet. They were still at home. If you go online, you will be able to read about countless stories of Good Samaritans who helped people during the time of evacuation and now the cleanup time and everything, and who have opened up their properties to people to live on it in RVs temporarily until they can go back to their homes or decide where they're going to go. We met a man at the laundromat in Chico, and he has been burned out 3 times. He was from Concow, I believe, and he said he was burned out in 2008. He was burned out this time and one other time previously to all of that. But he has such an amazing attitude. Throughout the time that we were talking to him, he just kept smiling and just kept saying that he was just so grateful and glad to be alive, and God is good. And that's true. Bad things happen, but God is still good.
Throughout history, there have been episodes of God's people going through extreme hard times. Some things that are written about and other things that we just know happened as a result of battles and wars that took place in different countries. Fires and earthquakes and such things, all bad, and a result, of course, of living in a sinful world. But the good news is that God still brings about blessings, and in those times makes us blessings to others, and we can help others out in different ways. People helping people escape, other people helping people recover, all kinds of things being done just as a result of the tragedy that struck so many lives.
Some of the things to have learned from this is that they are talking about more ways for deforestation. They're also talking about ways to evacuate the elderly and the disabled from just different situations like this. It makes you really put things into perspective. The things we own are just things. Just remember, things can be replaced. People cannot. 90% of wildfires start by people. Never leave a fire unattended. Grind cigarette butts into the dirt. Better yet, quit if you can. Report any suspicious activity of possible arsonists, because it is true what they say, wildfires can be prevented by you. It's hard to say. I hope you liked this video, but if you did, or if you want to share it with others, feel welcome to do that. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't yet. We have some happier things to share with you. Then next to it, a bell is going to pop up. Ring the bell and you'll be reminded every time a new video comes up. Check out our Facebook page for other things. And until next time, God bless.